Today is Tuesday, April the 6th. 6th. I'm coming to you a day late because Andy was off yesterday, and he was off for their Easter day off. And so he pretty much hung around the house all day, just kind of taking it easy. So it's hard for me to record when he's here. So here I am today. I've had a busy week. I've had a very busy week. I've had an eventful week. But before I get into all that, I will show you what I've been up to situ-wise. That way, in case you're not interested in all the live stuff, I will put it at the end, and you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. So, first things first. Normally, this has been the time of the video where I have shown my daily 30, which is, or was, keyword was, Rosewood Manor's Heaven in a Wildflower. I finished that on Sunday. I was trying to get it finished like Friday or Saturday, but it didn't happen. I finished that on Sunday, and you should be seeing a picture of it here. And I was able to call the stitch and frame yesterday morning and secure a time that day to take it down there to them, to drop it off with them, to have them frame it. And so while I was there, I did pick up a couple of things, not much. I just picked up a couple of things because I needed to edit myself down money-wise to how much I picked out in addition to that. So they have that project, and they're working on it, and while it won't be ready in time for my mom's birthday on the 17th, they did tell me that it would probably be the 21st, I think she said. It'll be ready by the 21st, so it's just going to be a late birthday present for my mom. So, but I'm so happy to be done with that, and I'm so thankful to the Daily 30, to Cheryl McKinney and the Daily 30 for giving me that push to get some progress on it. So just 30 minutes a day. If you can manage 30 minutes a day on something, you know, that progress will build up. So, what am I replacing that with? Well, I am replacing that with another project that I have a hard time working on. Just because it's fiddly, the colors and the sections are fiddly. So that, I finally went and printed out a picture of this. So that is the Chinese Phoenix by Joan Eliott. So, and I did go back and figure out exactly when I started this. I thought I started this in 2017. Turns out I started it in 2016. I started this thing in July of 2016. So, this is my progress. I did work on it last night for way more than 30 minutes. I think I worked on it for a good hour and a half. And I worked on this right here. And then it comes up and there's a few stitches at the bottom in that same color. So, that's what I worked on last night. I haven't worked on it yet today. This is on my 11 by 17 because it's taller than the 11-inch Q-snap. I am debating on ordering the 3-inch extenders that Q-snap makes, which would give me an 11 by 14. I don't know if I'm going to order those yet. I'm really considering ordering those. If I do, you'll see them next time. So, but this is where that is at right now. So, hopefully with the Daily 30, I can get some progress on that. And this is just on a white mystery fabric. I think it looks like a linen, but the holes are pretty even. So, I don't know exactly if it's an even weave or if it's a linen. So, You can see. Yeah. I don't know. We're just going with white mystery fabric. So that, where can I put that? I'll put it over here. So that is my new daily 30. The next existing whip that you guys are familiar with, I am going to go ahead and pull this off because I need to take one side of my Q-snap off so that I can show you. I did put this on my 8-inch Q-snap so it makes it easier to work on. But I did finish the Supernatural. I did finish part 2 of the Supernatural Sal. So this is where it sits at right now. Since you last saw it, I did the L and these little star things over here. And I started on part 3. Here's the thing. Between releasing part 1 and part 3, she kind of did some moving around of things up here. There were extra stitches added in over here on the moose. The spacing is different than it was before between these 2 points. This is also kind of spaced a little differently than it was. So this is actually going to have to be frogged out and restitched in the new location. So that's what I've gotten done so far. There is a few letters here, which looks like the last few letters of the word people. There's a tiny little squirrel over here. This is the mark of Cain, basically. If you can see that, you can kind of, yeah, you can see that's the mark of Cain. I think there's going to be a big anti-possession symbol here in the middle. Don't know yet. So, but this is where it sits at right now. Still loving this. Still love working on it. So, and this is a 46 count Confederate Gray by Weeks Dye Works. And give me just a second while I get this back on the Q-snap. Okay, so that's where that sits at. So I'm going to put that over here. So that's all the existing stuff that I've worked on. My starts for last week, I think the last thing you saw was the 27th? 27th, yeah. Last thing you saw was the 27th, which was Miss Sarah Jane. So on the 28th, I started Santa's Gift by Lavender Wings. Pull these out. No spoilers. Needle minders are sticking together between the bags. So I'm going to have to hold this back kind of far back because it's a freebie Santa's Gift by Lavender Wings. And this is stitched on a 32 count Lugana in Lapis by Under the Sea Fabrics. And that was my little bitty starts. That was it. Just some green. Sorry, my scroll frame was about to hit the floor. So that was it. And then my needle minder is actually a magnet. It's part of a set from an Etsy shop that I ordered these from. It's A2P2 on Etsy. Letter A, number 2, letter P, number 2 on Etsy. So this is from the movie Clueless. So you've seen my one that had the fly on it that was from... He's over here laying in the window, and he's laying on my lap desk, which is kind of slanted. And it has my diamond painting on it, which has a slippery plastic cover on it. He's making me worried. But you've seen my needle minder that has the fly on it. It's supposed to be like Meat Group. That was from Encino Man. I ordered that from the same shop. They have the different sets of minders from different movies. So that was from Clueless. Rolling with the homies. You get it, you get it. So, on the 29th, I started the Hello Kitty cupcake. This is put out by a user on DeviantArt. I will link the person, the page down below in the description box. And just a little bitty teeny tiny start on this one as well. This is right in the middle. You can see that's where her eyes are. So that was my start on it. This is an 18 count. I think it's called Gamble is the name of the colorway. But this is the fabrics by LJ. And he doesn't dye fabric anymore. So, and then my cupcake needle minder, which I made myself a while back. So there's that. On the 30th, was only one project left on my wheel, and that was the cat sampler. And this is out of the Gift of Stitching in the issue number 12, January 2007. So, and I'm actually converting the colors. My cat is gray and white, so I'm converting all this brown to dark gray. And then the words will be a different shade of dark gray. But just in the, I'm doing it all in silks. Don't ask me why, because I had a bunch of dinky dye silks that I needed to use for something. So, and I don't know what this fabric is. I think it's a Bestitch Me fabric that came out of the linen sampler pack thing. So I don't know exactly what this fabric is. I just know it's a Bestitch Me fabric. And it looks to be possibly a 32 count. 32 count. Something or other. That was my start on it. A few letters. And it is stitching up really quickly too. So, but you know me. I'll probably let it languish for another year or two before I finally get tired of having it in my whip pile and finish it. We'll see. I would like to ideally finish some of these smaller starts that I had in March. I would like to finish those by the end of the year. Things that won't take very long to finish up, like the Hello Kitty cupcake and the cat sampler and the Santa's gift. I would like to go ahead and just get all those done and out of the way. This next piece that I started on the 31st, which was a start that I picked out for that day, to specifically start on that day. I've already put in one of my new bags. And I started with the Needle 2 by Lila Studio. And it's already on a Q-snap. Well, it's still on a Q-snap, I should say. This is my start on it. I love working on this. It's so pretty and it's so fun to work on right now that I just want to keep going on it right now. So I am. So, and this is done in the all the called for flosses. These are fancy flosses here. I haven't yet pulled out any DMCs. So yeah. I just love this so much, y'all. I'm so glad I started this. So, and this is being done, I think it's on a 40 count pecan butter by Lakeside Linens. So, that is my start. And I'm going to leave this out and I'm going to keep working on it because I love it so much. So that was all the new starts. That was everything. So the next thing to logically move into is haul. I don't have a lot of haul. I also did do some fabric dyeing last week, and I will show you what the results of that came. If you remember, I got some new colors of Rit dye, and I wanted to try them out to see what they look like. So the first one is going to be Hyacinth. It's actually kind of darker purple than it's showing up, but it's Hyacinth. Yeah. And these are all these little pieces like this are 16 count Aida. Not the most quality Aida, but it's Aida. That's that one. And then there's Taupe. So this one's actually showing up pretty good. I know I tried to fix that splotch in the middle, but I couldn't get it to... I couldn't get the dye to take right there for some reason. So that. And then... and then there was the Neon Yellow. This is Neon Yellow. And I hope it doesn't blow out the camera. So there's that. And then for some reason, I decided I wanted to mix the Neon Yellow with the Neon Green and throw some taupe in there for some reason. So I came out with this. I don't hate it, but I don't know what I would stitch on it. So there's that. And then I also dyed a piece of 28 count Lugana. And I actually really like this. I probably couldn't repeat it to save my life, but I actually really liked how it happened. My bright idea was to use taupe and then add a little bit of the hyacinth in it to make it a little bit purple. Problem is, the purple was coming through more than anything. So I immediately took it out and added brown and then put it in there and added more brown. It's like dark brown. I added more dark brown. And let it set for a while, and this is the result. It's a dirty gray. It's like if you had a piece of a gray fabric and got it dirty. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Anyway, it's the dirtiness is very faint. You're not going to be able to see it on camera. But I do like that a lot. So I'm going to have to find something to stitch on that. Even though 28 count's not my favorite. I will use it at some point. But now we get into the stuff that I've actually received. That I've bought and received. A while back, I think it had to have been in February, I ordered a piece of fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics that I was intending on using for the Crescent Moon Dragon. Because the pieces of fabric that I had, the colors that I liked, including the one that I ended up starting it on, was 32 count. And I'm not sure how the beads are going to react to 32 count. Especially if it's a fabric that has shrunken in the dye process. So I went on to the, sometime in February, I think, I went on to the Under the Sea Fabrics site and ordered a piece of fabric. Ordered a piece of 28 count fabric. So I ordered a 28 count Lugana in Lapis. Same fabric, same colorway that I'm doing that Santa's gift on. But this is the 28 count. So you're really not going to be able to see the exact coloring of it. But it's purple. So yeah, it's a really pretty color. So let me ask y'all this. Because, see, I almost called it Crescent Moon Dragon. Yeah, Crescent Moon Dragon. So because Crescent Moon Dragon does have some beads, I don't think they're all, like, bunched up in any part. Do you think I should keep working on it on the Picture This Plus? I think it's Haven. It's a 32 count. You think I should keep working on it on that, or do you think I should restart it on the 28 count lapis? So let me know what you guys think, because I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. Personally, I think I should restart it on the 28 count, because you guys know I didn't get very much of a start on that anyway, so it wouldn't be nothing to restart that. So, that's that. And when I went to the stitching frame yesterday, I did go ahead and pick up a couple of things while I was there. And I had to edit myself down, because I could go in there and probably spend a good $500 just picking out things that I just like. So I did have to edit myself down. And I picked out a couple pieces of fabric. First one being a 40 count Confederate gray. Had to get another piece of that. And I also picked out 40 count Seraphim fabrics in Dusty Road. This has some darker brown modeling in it, which I don't know how well it's going to come through. And that's good, like that. So that's a really pretty fabric. I liked that. And then I saw this little piece of fabric, and it's the color for some reason I was drawn to. I couldn't give it back. So I bought it. And it's a 40 count Vintage Tundra by Lakeside Linens. It's like a green-gray color. So, don't know what would be small enough to fit on that, but I can find something. Just to kind of give you an idea. Yeah, it's a green-gray color. So, really pretty. So, I got that, and then I picked up one pattern that was in the markdown bin. I picked out, making sure I'm holding this right, I picked out Prairie House Sampler by Brenda Gervais. It's something about those blues and the browns together that really got me. I had to get it. So that is what I got from the stitching frame yesterday. So that's all my haul. Well, not all of it. We've gotten other things. I've gotten a couple other things for the minders. I've gotten I ordered a new bowl for the cat. I ordered a new coffee maker, which is supposed to be here today. I'm super excited about that, because it has a bigger water reservoir than the one I have, and it has more options than the one I have. So, super excited about that. We also ordered a crib for Abby. I think it's supposed to be here Thursday. We ordered a crib, a mattress, sheets, and a mattress pad. Not a mattress pad, but like the bumper pad. Because she has learned to roll over, and we don't want her rolling over off the bed when we lay her down for a nap. So we had to get her a crib. And I think one of my family members, my extended family members, might have had a crib that they were trying to get rid of. But when I asked my dad about it yesterday, he said that it's like one of my stepmom's family had one that they were trying to get rid of, but they are on vacation until next week. And he would wait and ask them next week when they came back, see if they still had it. We can't wait until next week. We need to get her in a crib before she rolls off the bed. So, that's also coming. What else? I will go ahead and do my pick 3 questions. I'll go and do my pick 3 questions. Okay, these are out of the book. 3,000 pick 1 questions, and I got this at Target. Special K or shredded wheat? If it's just shredded wheat, then I would go with Special K. Now, we're talking about frosted mini wheats. We'll go with frosted mini wheats, but I like Special. But Special K is not bad, especially the one with the strawberries in it. That would be my choice. Peaches or plums? Peaches. We're in the South. I gotta have peaches. Especially if they're, like, stewed or cooked in any way. And lastly, frothy or foamy? Is there a difference? Is there a difference? I thought it was supposed to be technically the same thing. Maybe foamy? Because you can foam milk, I think. I don't know. We'll go with foamy. Just because that sounds like something I would rather have. Anyway, so that's all the fun stuff. If you're not in it for the life stuff, totally understand. You can check out now. Even my voice is about to check out. But let me take y'all back to last week. And I'm going to try to be, I'm going to try not to, like, ramble on too much about all this. Last Thursday, I walked past Dean. He was in front of the window, and he was cleaning himself, and he had his leg lifted up, and I noticed he had a wound on the inside of his back leg. And to me, from what I've seen online, it kind of looked like he had, like, one of those botfly larvae. He had one of those botflies under his skin, but I didn't, like, look too close or anything, just the way the wound looked. So I called around some vets and was trying to get him a vet appointment for this past Saturday, because I knew I had to work that day, Thursday, and I had to work the next day, Friday. And even if Andy had to work Saturday, if I could find somebody that was open a little bit later, then I could take him somewhere on Saturday. If I could. If I had to wait till Monday, I had to wait till Monday. But I was really trying to get him seen by Saturday. So I had called around a couple different places, tried a couple places. And one place that I tried to call, she said, well, try this place called Urgent Vet. They're more like an urgent care center for people, but they're a vet. And they are open a little bit later on Saturdays. She said, you don't have to make an appointment or anything. Just check in before you go up there. So I did, and I checked in online Saturday. Andy did have to work, but he got off at like 11. So he got home, and when I went to check in, my check-in time wasn't until like 1:15. So I had to wait until then. And to kind of rewind just a bit, I had gone Friday before work and went to PetSmart and gotten a new carrier to put him in, because the one that I have was one that I was using for my previous cat, and she was really small. He is really big. So I decided to go ahead and get him a new carrier to fit him better. But I went Saturday to the vet, and everything is curbside. So pulled up to the vet, called them, say, hey, I'm here. And it took him a few minutes to come out and get him. And so she took him back, and they called me a few minutes later. I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. It's hard to gauge time when you're sitting there waiting in the car on the phone playing video games. So she called me a while later and said, well, this is what's going on. He has a wound. But the wound on his leg isn't really concerning, because it looks like maybe he just got into a scrap with another cat or an animal of some type. And, you know, it's basically just a puncture wound. It's fine. You know, they treated it. It'll heal on its own. His toe was swollen, which is something else that I had noticed or I thought I had noticed earlier last week, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know if it was my imagination. So I didn't think too much of it. I said, well, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to look at it again another day. She said his toe is another thing. She said probably from that same scrap he got into, his toe has gotten something. It's like it's been punctured or whatever, and he had an abscess and it had gotten infected. And so what they were going to have to do was they were going to have to lance it and drain it. So, and of course to do that, they have to sedate him. And they had sent me a list of everything that they were wanting to do. And just for me to sign off my approval on what they needed to do. So I looked things over, and they wanted to go ahead and do his rabies shot, which I think he was due for one anyway. And so they wanted to go ahead and do the 3-year rabies shot, and also to do a heartworm, and all that stuff too. So I said yes to everything. But the price was a little bit more than I had on me. Sad part was that I had a little over $400 on me, and I thought, okay, well, if they just have to pull a bot fly out of his leg, then it should be more than $100, $200. Things are never what they seem. Just know that when you take a pet to the vet. So what I had to do was I had to come back home. They said, well, it's going to take about an hour to sedate him and do everything that we need to do and everything. So she said, you can go get you something to eat or whatever if you need to. So I left and I came back home. And by the time I got back home, and I had talked to Annie for a few minutes, and they called me before I even had a chance to get anything to eat. They called me and said, well, he's ready. You can come get him, anytime. So, okay. So it's going to be a little bit before I can get down there, but I'll be there. So I went ahead and ate something, some leftovers from work. And so then I had to leave right back out. I go to the check cashing place and get my stimulus check cashed, which I had hoped to be able to wait until either yesterday or today to go get it cashed at the bank. But since I needed to cash that stimulus check to get the more money that I needed for the vet, I had to go to a check cashing place, which I've used this check cashing place before. The card that I use, I have a debit card that I use. It's a prepaid debit card, and it's the Chime card, which is fine because I usually get just direct deposit from my job. And they're through the Green Dot company. Well, Green Dot has a limit on how much you can deposit at one time per day. Normally when I go to CVS and I've deposited money, I think the limit is $800 at in a day. When I went up to the teller at this check cashing place, she said the amount they limit us to is $700. She said, I can give you up to $100 cash back. That's the most cash that we can give out. So we'll have to put the rest onto one of our debit cards. Great. So now my money is split into technically 3 ways. I mean, I did need a little bit of cash anyway. I like having a little bit of cash on me. So she put the money onto my Chime card, and she put the rest of it onto their debit card, and I had the $100 in cash back. So I had enough on my Chime card to pay the vet bill. So that was what counted. And so I left there and went back to the vet and picked him up. And stopped off at Dunkin' Donuts on the way home and got me a iced chai latte with caramel swirl. I'd had it with vanilla swirl before, but this is the first time I'd had it with caramel swirl. Thumbs up. So, and I got home and I was exhausted. I was already exhausted. And so, come Sunday at Easter, I was supposed to go to my dad's at lunchtime for an Easter get together, and then I was going to go to my mom's house later in the evening to kind of spend some time with her for Easter. I was so tired from Saturday from being in the car so much that I called my dad. Well, I messaged my dad Sunday morning and told him I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm tired, and I don't want to keep the baby out that long, because she won't be able to fall asleep, and then she'll get overtired, which wasn't a lie. That really would have happened. So I told him, it's like, and plus I just don't feel good. I was exhausted. So I didn't go to my dad's Sunday, but I did, however, go to my mom's Sunday evening. Had a small little meal with her. I pretty much had to do most of the prep work because she'd made some sweet potatoes, and I realized after I heated some heat in the bag corn in the microwave that she had also heated up some corn on the cob, but we just had the regular bag corn. And then we had she had gotten some ham steaks, which you don't know. If you don't know what a ham steak is, it's literally a thick slice of ham, about this thick, that comes pre-wrapped. So she had a few ham steaks, and kind of grilled up one of those on the skillet, and we split it, and just a little bit of corn, one of the sweet potatoes. She had some Hawaiian rolls that we had, and so it was a small little, intimate little dinner with her. And afterward, I was getting everything together to pack up and leave, and I don't know, she has so much stuff in her fridge and her freezer that I asked her, like, why do you have so much food in your fridge? It's just you don't need this much food. You don't need to be buying all this food, when it's just you. And she doesn't even go anywhere, really. She goes to the store, and she might come up to the restaurant where I work at every once in a while, and I think she said she had to go get some service done on her car yesterday. She doesn't really go anywhere. And with her not working, there's no reason for her to have a whole bunch of stuff for her to take, like if she were going to work and for lunch. So I spent some time helping her clean out and reorganize the freezer part. And I told her, next time I come over, we're going to do the fridge, because that one I couldn't even bring myself to try to clean out that fridge. So I put all her stuff, like all her frozen vegetables and strawberries. For some reason, she keeps a whole bunch of frozen strawberries. Put all her frozen vegetables and fruit in the bottom drawer, which I had previously pulled out about 7 or 8 ice packs. Like the kind that you can use to keep food cold in a lunch bag. I'm like, you don't need all these ice packs in here. Why do you don't go anywhere? You have no use for these. So we pulled all those out. Also pulled out a lunch bag, like an entire soft-sided lunch bag. There wasn't anything in it, but it was just, why do you have the lunch bag in there? So, spent a little bit of time reorganizing her freezer. Brought a few things home with me, some frozen vegetables and stuff, and I came back home. And yesterday was pretty quiet, other than going to the stitching frame. And here we are today. So that was my weekend. I think I've done pretty good in how much I got stitched. So I'm hoping to keep up that momentum. And, yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say. I think I've covered it all. So, but I guess that's going to do it. I hope that you guys get lots of stitching in next week. I hope you have a good week. And until I see you guys again next time, be good. Bye, guys.